We begin tonight with breaking news. Residents of a Grand Forks neighborhood are breathing easier after a standoff ends peacefully. Good evening and thank you for joining us.
Police were called to a Grand Forks home on a welfare check. When they arrived, they say they found an armed suicidal man. Remember, it was only 48 hours earlier that two men died in a shooting in a North Fargo neighborhood. One of the victims was a Fargo police officer.
Tonight, a perimeter was set up around the home at 1113 Fifth Avenue North after police say a man came out with a gun and then retreated back inside. They sent a code red telling neighbors to stay inside their homes. The SWAT and crisis intervention teams were called in. After about an hour, the man surrendered without incident.
I think for law enforcement officers, we know the potential of violence on any call we go on. But when we do have a tragedy occur within the region, it really just sinks at home that this is a problem everywhere, not just large cities, not just on the East Coast or West Coast. Right here in the Midwest, officers can certainly be targeted and injured.
Police add that the man, whose name has not been released, faces at least a charge of terrorizing. He was taken in for evaluation and will eventually wind up in the Grand Forks County Correctional Facility.
The city of Grand Forks, the city of Fargo rather, the city's police department and the Impact Foundation announced a way that people can donate online to the family of Officer Jason Moszer, the fallen Fargo police officer who died in Wednesday's shooting. Multiple funds have been set up on crowdfunding sites as well. Now, we checked in to see if the fund accounts on CrowdRise and GoFundMe are legit, especially after a northern Minnesota woman was recently charged for stealing money from a GoFundMe account. More than $30,000 has been raised on the CrowdRise site, and the organizers say his daughter and Officer Moser's daughter do gymnastics together, and he was just looking for a way that he and other parents could help the family. The organizer says he has gotten numerous inquiries asking what their intentions were.
Because I completely understand. I mean, it's dealing with money. People don't want to get ripped off, and they don't want the family to get ripped off. I'm not exploiting someone's, horrific event here. I'm trying to help out a family that, my daughter's really good friends with their daughter.
Fargo police did contact Jonason to verify that all the money will go to the Moszer family. The official Moszer Family Benefit Fund is set up at Bell State Bank, and you must be present in order to donate there. Now, there's a link that you can go to donate online on our website. Just click on this story on valleynewslive.com.
Law enforcement in Fargo issued several code red alerts overnight Wednesday into Thursday as that shooting unfolded. They alerted Fargo residents near the police perimeter what was happening and that they needed to shelter in place in their homes. Cass County Emergency Manager Jim Propane says the loss of life could have been even greater had hospital employees left or people left for work or school. There were some issues with people nowhere near the area getting the alerts. Propane says that's because they need to update their information with code red.
An airplane used for crop dusting made an emergency landing today 2 miles east of Sterling, North Dakota. That's just east of Bismarck. The plane was flying from Hillsboro to Mandan when it had engine trouble. The pilot says he made an emergency landing on Interstate 94's westbound lanes, and then it was pushed into the ditch. There were no injuries or property damage.
Contract talks are at a stalemate between Fergus Falls teachers and their school board. A teacher's speech to the board has gone viral and brought spotlight from around the country.
Valley News Team's Cornelius Hawker traveled to Fergus Falls, where teachers are saying they love their job and just wanted to be treated fairly.
So here I am, 64 years old, once again, begging for an increase for myself and my teaching teammates.
Longtime Fergus Falls teacher Vicki Hahnemann's speech about the struggles she and her colleagues face has been seen by thousands since she gave it Monday night after it was posted to Facebook.
They know me. They know how hard I work. They know how hard we work. At least I thought they did.
School board chair Matthew Limke says the district wants the teachers to get a raise, but the cards are stacked against them.
One of the things about the Fergus Falls School District is we are in the bottom 15% of the school districts in Minnesota. And what that equates to is that's about $4 million less money that we receive from the state.
Teachers say they are aware of the state funding issue, but insist if the board seriously wanted to give them a raise, the money could be found.
Their offer is 0.2%. That's not enough to even cover a fraction of our health insurance, a fraction of what our groceries have gone up, what our heating costs have gone up.
After Vicki gave her speech, those here in the crowd supporting her walked out, which caught the board by surprise.
What people don't see is as the teachers are walking out, I'm giving my response to the teachers as they're leaving with their backs to me.
We had no idea there was going to be a response. If we had known, if it had been in the agenda, and it sounds like it had been planned, so why that's not in the agenda? But if we had known that Mr. Lemke was going to talk, we would not have walked out.
Lemke says the situation is tough, but he's certain an agreement pleasing both sides will be met soon.
It'd be better if we worked together and explained to the state where we're at in funding and how difficult it is to provide the programming that we want to continue to provide, and also give our staff the salaries that we want to be able to give them.
In Fergus Falls, Cornelius Hawker, Valley News Live.
Online, we found the average salary for teachers in Fergus Falls is around $41,500. The Fergus Falls Education Association says it's asking for an increase of 1.75%, which is under the state average increase of 2%. The two sides will further negotiate at the end of March.
Here's a recall that could directly impact the safety of your home and your family. 118 million gallons of propane are being recalled. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says the odor of the propane gas isn't strong enough, so if there's a gas leak, you may not realize it. The propane was sold in several states, including Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, Nebraska, and Wisconsin. The LP propane gas could have been delivered for use in storage tanks or sold at stores for portable tanks. You should not attempt to test the propane yourself. Instead, contact the retailer or supplier to arrange for an inspection. They say this is also a good reminder to check the carbon monoxide detectors in your home.
A test for the Zika virus could be commercially available within weeks. That's according to the World Health Organization, where experts say such a test could help speed research and show public health experts where the virus is spreading. 10 biotech companies are working on a Zika test, which looks for antibodies the immune system makes in response to the virus. There's no vaccine to prevent Zika. Zika virus is generally mild, but has been strongly linked to an uptick of birth defects in Latin America.
You might see a few kings and queens running around if you're out this evening. Hope Lutheran Church hosted Night to Shine. It's a prom experience like no other that lets those who might not usually be in the spotlight take center stage.
God's got a plan for every life, and sometimes people with disabilities end up being sidelined and not in the stars of the show, and tonight they are the star of the show.
Night to Shine is part of the Tim Tebow Foundation outreach. Tonight's event in Fargo was one of around 200 taking place in 48 states and 8 different countries.